Hello all and welcome to the latest Craft Mania Sunday Showcase. Before we start on today's mega bundle, I just want to say thank you very much for the response to last week's video. Last week we had these lovely little paper pads that we were showing you, and you've gone crazy for these, not only in store but we've also had a lot of web orders for these. So if you haven't got them yet, I'm really happy to report we have still got a few of them in stock, but we really are down to our very last few of these. There's 6 different versions in total. The bundle offer, of course, has now ended because of last week's showcase is over with, but you can still buy them individually for $5.99 and they have a recommended retail price of $9.99 each. And the reason I'm going on about these is because of today's bundle is so cheap that if you are ordering on our website, if you was to pop a couple of these in your basket as well, you'd qualify for free P&P. So if you haven't seen last week's video, do pop onto YouTube, have a look at that one, and you might just want to treat yourself to those as well. So let's have a little look at today's bundle. So I don't quite believe that we've got this for you today, really. In here, you're actually receiving £78 worth of goods, but it's only going to cost you £25. So that's what? Over £53 saving on this one bundle. So let's show you what you're going to be getting in here. So to begin with, we've got a lovely sheet of A5 stamps. Now these are just rubber stamps and we're going to mount them and we'll talk about them a little while later. But to begin with, we'll look through your designs. So on here you've got a Merry Christmas to all wreath, a Peace, Love and Joy wreath. Now one of the nice bits with them is you could of course mask the wording and just use the wreath on its own if you wanted to. And one thing I do like with this set is the way they give you the other items in 2 different sizes. So you could of course layer them if you wanted to, or build up scenes with them. And then we'll move on to your next set. Now for your next set, we're looking at the Elf collection. Now I must admit I'm a little bit in love with these. I think they're so super cute, and that'd be really nice if you're going to do kids cards for Christmas as well. But then thinking of it, I know a few adults that probably appreciate these too. They've got some really nice little elf-related sentiments dotted around on there as well. And they're just cute, aren't they? They're just so lovely. Moving on, I'll show you set number 3. Now this one is actually designed by Sheena Douglas, hand-drawn. And you can see that in just the detail of them. They're really lovely stamps to work with because they're so detailed. And again, with this one, you've got a couple of different sizes of the items as well. So a really nice set to be working with. Moving on to your 4th set, with this one, is a little bit harder to see these because they've taken the colouring out of them like they had in the first 3. But they're really gorgeous stamps. You've got a lovely village scene here, which works quite well if you layer it with the houses in the first set I show you. Then you've got these lovely trees to add in a bit more depth if you want to in front or behind your villages, and a lamp post as well. And one of the nice bits I like with this set is you've got a vertical Christmas wishes. We get asked for vertical message stamps quite a lot, so this is a good way to get your hands on one of them. Moving forward to our 5th set of stamps, this one is really nice ornate baubles. Now the good bit with this is you've got large baubles and small baubles, so if you've already got like a die cut of a Christmas tree, you could of course stamp these, cut them out and add them to it and layer them up to make some lovely effects. These are so intricate and just screaming out to be glittered, to be honest. I haven't in today's samples, but you could do some really nice glittering effects. You could even layer them if you wanted to in like a medallion style because they just lend themselves to that. And then of course you've got the text bits down the bottom. Now all of the stamps I've just shown you should sell for $9.99 a set, just to give you a little idea of how we're getting to that £78 value with this. So when you do buy your bundle at your £25, already you've got 50% more for your money. But it doesn't end there, we're just going to keep on giving. So next up we have this set of stamps. Now these are already foam mounted when you're looking at this one. I'll explain that in a little bit more detail later, but these are already foam mounted, and this one actually creates a bow. Now it's up to you with this. You can just use the small bow, you can just use the large bow, or you can layer them together. And then you can either have side sort of details or little tail details instead out of the bottom of it. Up to you. Of course you'll get to see that on some of my examples shortly. Moving on, we then have an embossing folder. Now this is part of their Christmas collection, but the good bit is with this one is you could actually use it all year round. It's just a really nice intricate design. For your second embossing folder, This one is a snowflake lattice, so I don't know how well you're going to see this, but we've got really cute little snowflakes in between dotted lines to create your lattice effect. Now we know lattices are always popular all the way through the year, so to have a really nice Christmas version like this is certainly going to help you when you're doing your festive cards. Now moving on, now I thought your bundle was going to end there. I didn't realise we were going to be giving you any more goodies in this one, but we've had a little chat and we decided we'd pop these bits in as well. So the value just keeps on growing. So with this set, you're going to get an accessories pack. In here we have little pre-cut flowers, like chiffon flowers that you can glue together or brad together, or you could even layer them with the matching buttons that come with the set or the sequins. And then we have pre-made bows for you as well. Moving on, you're also going to get a ribbon pack as well, which is quite nice because it gives you the matching ribbon to the bows. So if you do want to do borders around your cards to match the bow, you certainly can. You've also got some nice ric-rac at the bottom here, which you could make flowers out of as well if you wish to, and a couple of other designs. Then you're going to get a sheet of stickers. Now these are the sort of domed glossy style stickers, and they're quite nice little designs at the base here, and then we've got bigger ones at the top. Moving on, you're also going to get a pack of 6 charms. Now these are already on paper clips, but you can of course just slide them off if you wish to, or you can keep them on there. Quite like the idea if you're going to give a gift card for Christmas or money or a gift voucher, then you could of course secure that into your card with one of these, and it's quite a nice way to hold it in place to give it out, isn't it? Moving on to your last item in your goodie bag, we have this little box, which is quite a cute little box on its own and could be certainly used after when you've emptied all these goodies on your cards. But we've got some really nice shaped flower sequins, then you've got flat ones, then you've got flat flower buttons, brads to hold lots of the bits together, or if you want to put ribbon on, etc., you can. And then I don't know how well you're going to see these, you've also got mini buttons as well in different shapes and colours, and then at the very top here we've got a little bit more of that ribbon as well. In the centre, these are 2 large brads, which of course are just lovely. They're like a rubber made design on a metal backing that's then a brad, so they're really special. And that completes what you're actually going to be receiving. So as I say, that set is worth over £75 and you can purchase all of it for just £25. Now this week in store we've had a lot of questions about, can I buy the Sunday Showcase? Do I have to belong to a club? Do I have to be a loyalty card member? Do I have to come to classes? No, you don't. If you're watching this video, you can purchase this showcase. It is literally open to everybody. And as always, you can either write on our YouTube video, you can write on our Facebook page, or you can text us, or you can order it online. Whatever works best for you, you can order it in all of them different ways. But whoever you are, wherever you are, we will always send it to you. Alright, so let's show you a few of the cards that I've made with this little collection to give you a few ideas of what you could be doing with it. So this week in class, we've been making these little boxes, and I must admit I've got a little bit addicted to these, and I like to show you that if you have come to one of the classes, you will have made it in a lot larger size than this, but of course you could make these boxes in any size you want to. So I've made just a slightly smaller one, and then on the inside of it we've got that really nice village scene. I'm going to grab the stamp so I can show you, because it doesn't show up so well actually on the packet. That's the village scene from in this one. The tree in the front here is the tree out of the top of that. And then that's the little house with the matching tree off of the very first set you will have looked at. And then all I've done is just popped it onto a bit of 12 by 12 paper and added a bow, and job done. A couple of layers of card, and that's just an easy card to make really. With this one I've coloured it in with alcohol markers. But of course, if that's not your thing, you can do different colouring techniques with them. I'll show you a couple of different things I've done colouring wise as we go through today's video. So moving on to your next card, this is that really lovely snowflakey embossing folder, and I've just done mine on brown card and then gone over the top of it with silver gilding wax. Then we have that really lovely lantern, which come out of the set of stamps that was designed by Sheena Douglas. This is the large lantern, and I've just cut out with a knife a few of the details in the middle there, but of course you could leave them in if you wanted to and paint them in. And then over here we have the car stamp that comes off the same Sheena Douglas set, and I've just heat embossed these, all in silver by the way, and just painted them with distress inks, which gives you a bit of a different lighter effect than if you use like alcohol markers. But of course you could use anything you wish to. The candle comes out the very first set I show you. That's the Christmas Day set if you're trying to place where the elements come from. And the Best Wishes comes out of the bauble set of stamps. So although they're all different sets, you really can mix and match these up and do different bits with them. Moving on to another card. And I've got another box on this one. You will notice there's a bit of a theme with these boxes going on today. In this one we have the lamppost, which you will find in one of the sets, but even I've forgot now, sorry. Oh, there's this one with the village in it as well. That's got your lamppost in it. And then we've got that lovely oval reef design with the text that comes out of the first set as well, along with the candle. In the back here, that's that other embossing folder. Now, I don't know how well you're going to get to pick that up on here, but it's just a really nice everyday ornate design and a really good deep impression with it as well. So I think you're going to use that one quite a lot, to be honest. Moving on to another card. So this one, again in lessons this week, not only were we doing that box technique that I show you on the first couple of cards, we were also making our own canvases. So this is another one of the techniques I've stole from this week's lesson. And again, it's using that same village that you see in that set of stamps there. And this time I've painted it with Distress ink, so you can see it's a little bit lighter on this one. The little verse across the bottom comes out of the bauble set of stamps. And then this is your first look at the bow. So remember I show you the bow set that you're going to be getting. This is 2 layers with the tails instead of the side pieces. So of course it's up to you. You might think that's a bit heavy, or you might just want to use just the small one. And of course you can stick a little gem or a button in the middle as well if you wanted to. You could really dress these up or down as much as you want to. But it's quite a cute little bow, and they're quite sturdy as well. If you're worrying about posting it, mine is done out of card, but it's quite robust, so it should go okay really. Moving over to this side. Now this is the first glimpse you're going to get of the elves. Now as I say, I am quite in love with these, and I do think they are proper super cute. So this time I've done the same box idea, but I've done 2 of them and laid them one inside the other. The elves have just been stamped and cut out and coloured with alcohol markers, as well as the little Santa's workbench and the little text bit up here. So you really can go to town with them. And then we've got another one of them bows as well. This time I've actually done it on just a thin paper, but again, they're still quite robust and quite springy. So a nice little effect for those as well. Moving on to our next card. Now this one's a really simple card. This is that wreath that come out of the first set of stamps, the Christmas Day one, the Peace, Love, Joy one. All I've done is just stamped it onto a piece of 12 by 12, just a sort of postmark, sort of post style paper. Stamped it on in black memento, coloured it in with alcohol markers, and then I doubt you're going to pick this up too well on here, but this is the first of 2 cards I've done like this, where I've just gone over it with a Versamark ink pad and heat embossed it in clear 3 times, and it sort of makes the paper incredibly hard. It sort of makes it like a tile, and it gives it a really nice high gloss finish to it. And then on my final layer of the clear embossing powder, I literally just sprinkled a little bit of iridescent glitter into it, because I didn't want it to be too glittery, but I did just want it to have a little sparkle to it. And hopefully you're seeing that on film, but it's never that easy to pick them sort of finishes up. But just a really quick, simple card, that one. Moving on, we'll show you the other one that's done in the same way, so that you know how that one's done. So this is going back to that really lovely Sheena Douglas car stamp with the little house behind it. This time I've coloured it in using alcohol markers, and then again I've done exactly the same with the embossing powder and just layered up the levels. I actually did this on mount board because I wanted it to be thicker and look more like a tile. We did it in one of our lessons a couple of years ago now, but it's a really nice technique and one that certainly works well with these stamps. So if you haven't seen that before, do have a look at the card if you do pop in store, so you can see that mount board effect. It just gives it a different dimension. Then behind it we have a little snowflake die, and then down the front here we've just got the Merry Christmas that comes out of the bauble set of stamps. Another simple card to do. And then for my final card today, I couldn't escape without doing something with them really lovely baubles. So this time I've just picked 3 different designs. I've stamped and embossed them 3 times in gold on cream card, and then where I've cut them out, because it had a bit of a white edge to it, I've just gone down them with a gold felt tip just to colour it in and give a different shade of gold. Behind it, I've got that embossing folder again. Now, the piece of card here is bigger than the embossing folder. So I've actually got 2 panels, and then I've just joined them together with a bit of ribbon to hide where the join is. But that is actually just that one embossing folder done. And then the Merry Christmas is again heat embossed in gold. And that's the one that comes out of that one with the village scene in it and the lamppost as well. So a really nice one again. The peel-off's coming off, so we better pop that back. So that is your 8 different cards for today's bundle. So I'm now sure you're in love with this set. And I bet you've already been tapping away in the comments to get this set held. If you haven't, please don't hang about because we've got very limited numbers of these. And I think they're going to go incredibly quickly with this amount of saving. But before I let you go today, I want to talk to you about how your stamps come. As I said to you earlier, these ones are already foam mounted, so I want to explain what that means, and I want to show you how your other ones are not foam mounted. So when you get these out of the packets, this is what you're going to be getting. That is literally just a different design but same style. So they're actually made of rubber, and one of the good bits with rubber stamps, and I know a lot of you love these more than the clear stamps, is because you can get a deeper impression and you get more detail from that. And they tend to be more intricate designs, so they certainly have their bonuses, but they don't come ready to stick onto blocks. So where you're used to using your clear blocks and sticking them on, these will just fall off, and you can't get as good an impression if you stamp with them just like this. So we tend to use a cushion mount product. So this is your cushion mount. It doesn't come included in your bundle because we know a lot of you may already have some of this in your stash, and the last thing we want to do is give you things like this that you're going to pay for that you don't need. So what we have got for you though are A4 sheets. They're only $3.99 a sheet. Normally they should retail for $5.99. So they are on a little bit of a bonus price, to be honest, but this is our standard price for these. So $3.99 a sheet. Obviously your stamp sheets are A5, so if you do go for the bundle, quick maths is you're going to get 2 of the sheets on a sheet if you wish to use it like that, and you're getting 5 sheets, so you really need 2.5 of these to 3. But there are ways you can save a little bit if you don't want to stick it on completely as a sheet, because obviously if you do that, you've got all of this wasted space which you're then using your sticky product up on that you don't necessarily need. So I don't tend to do that very often. The better way to use it is if you take a pair of scissors and you just cut round your stamp. Now I know a lot of you are going, oh, I can't do that because I might chop something off. It's not a difficult thing to do at all. Just cut round it. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be too close to it. Just so you've got a little bit of a frame like that. It cuts really easily, the actual rubber they're on, so that isn't a problem either. I'm just using just ordinary scissors and they cut through that, no problem. And then your sheet of your sticky back mount that I was just showing you in the packet. This is one I've already been working with, so it's a little bit smaller. On one side, it's not really sticky, but that's the bit that's going to stick onto your block. And then on the other side, this bit here, this is where the sticky bit comes into it. This is where you're going to stick your stamp. So just stick it on, and then you can just cut round it. And again, you don't have to be too precise at this part. So you cut it off, and then you can trim round it and match wherever it was that you've got your rubber edge to. Again, you don't have to be too precise with this, although it will stay a little bit sticky. But you can be a bit more frugal, as I say, because instead of using up the whole sheet, and especially if you're not going to use all your stamps straight away, you can just cut out the ones you want and just do them as you want them. And it might save you investing in too much of the cushion mount to begin with. Then on the other side of it, if I can keep hold of it, we have a little plastic film bit that if we just remove that, that will now be sticky. So it's not sticky to touch, but it is sticky in the fact that it will stay on your block, a bit like your clear stamps. When you touch them, they're not sticky, but it's sticky enough to stick to your rocker block or your push down mount one like this one. And then you can just ink it up as you normally would and stamp with it, exactly the same as you would with clear ones. And if you're panicking that you haven't got one of this style of blocks, you can of course use them on your rocker blocks as well, or if you've got the acrylic blocks, they'll mount onto them equally as well. So it doesn't really matter what your stamping style is, it'll work with them. So if you do want the packs and mount as well, don't forget they're $3.99. They come in single sheets, A4 in size, and if you do buy the bundle, you're going to want at least 2.5 sheets if you wish to stamp every single stamp that I've shown you in your sets. So just to run through it for one last time, your bundle is only £25. you're going to be receiving over £75 worth of goods. I think it is roughly 78 to be honest with you, but let's say over 75 to be sure. It's only £25, you really can't go wrong with this one, but we do have very, very, very limited stock, so please don't leave this. We don't think this will be here for many days, possibly even hours. Once again, you can text us, the number is in the write-up, or you can hold it on our Facebook page or in the comments on our YouTube video, or of course you can pop to our website, which is craftmaniacrafts.com, and then you can have this one posted to you. Now postage, don't forget, is a flat rate of £2.75 on all orders under £35, but if you do spend above £35, it's free P&P to anywhere in the UK. Now, bit of sad news, I'm afraid. I'm on holiday next week, so I will not be doing a video, but we will be having a little sneaky voucher for you to have a little look at, a little special offer, shall I say. So do pop onto our Facebook still next Sunday, because you will get a little reward. And apologies for me not being here for my video, but I am going to be disappearing for the week. Now, of course, if we do luckily have any of these bundles left, which I really don't think we're going to have, by the way, this offer does end at 5 PM on Saturday, June 10th. So don't push it, but I really do think they're going to be gone by then. So if you do want one, get one held. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I look forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks for our next Sunday showcase. Bye for now.